camera, that would be really awesome. And just in a moment, I'll share my screen, okay? Oh, I see some more friends coming on. Okay, can you all see my screen? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Okay, let me make that a slideshow. And still, can see it? Yes? Can you all see my screen? Still? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, welcome everyone. Happy Sunday. So again, we're going to continue with learning our verses from Bhagavad Gita. And we have a little story. And then we also have a Kahoot today, okay? So it's going to be fun. Let's first start with our opening prayers. And if you know it, you can say along with me. We'll do this together. And if you don't know, you can just listen and read along. Let's get started. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so our verse for today is we're going back to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We went through a few different chapters so far. We're going to go back all the way back to the first chapter, and this is the third verse in the first chapter. Okay, this is the first line. This is not the only part of the verse. I'll start with saying one word, and you can repeat after me. And here you can unmute so that we're all saying it together. And after we go word by word, and then we'll go line by line, and then we'll say the lines a few times, okay? Like how we normally do. So the first word here is Pashyetam. Now your turn. Okay. Pandu.
Pandu.
Putranam. Very good. Acharya. Mahatim. Chamum. Vyudam. Drupada. Putrena. Tava. Shishyena. Dhimata. All right, good job. Now we'll try again with the whole line, okay? I will say the whole line and then you say after me. Pashyetam Pandu Putranam. Your turn.
Pandu
Putranam. Good. One more time. Pashyetam. You can say your turn. Pashyetam Pandu Putranam. Awesome. Okay. I'll say it once and then you can go, okay? Acharya Mahatim Chamu. Now your turn. Acharya Mahatim. One more time. Acharya Mahatim Chamu. This one's a little tricky, right? Okay. Vyudham Drupada Putrena. Your turn. Vyudham Drupada Putrena. Good. One more time. Vyudham Drupada Putrena. Let's do that again. I didn't hear many of you. So if you're muted, unmute yourself, unless you can't. If you're able to, unmute, and let's say it together. Ready? Vyudham Drupada Putrena. Okay, I can hear you all now. Good. Okay, now my turn first, and then you. Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Now your turn.
Shishena
Dhimata. Good, one more time. Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
Shishena Dhimata.
Okay, let's try a few more times. Now we're going to say it all together. So please unmute if you are able to, and we're going to say it all together slowly, okay? Ready? And let's go. Ashetam Panduputranam. One more time. Pashetam Panduputranam. Acharya Mahatim Chamum. With me. Acharya. Good, good. Together. Vyudam Padasena. Again. Vyudam Padasena. All right. And together still. Tava Shishyatim. Again. Tava Shishyatim. All right. Good job. This is a tricky one, but you're doing great. All right. One more time all together. We'll say each line once, and then we'll go on to the translation. Okay. Ready, set, go. Pasyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Yudham Druta Sena Tava Shishimata. All right. Thank you all for trying. Does anyone want to try to say the verse by themselves?
Exact same thing back.
If you want to, raise your hand or put the hand emoji so I know. Does anyone want to try saying it? Someone raised their hand. I cannot read that name. You can unmute yourself.
Me?
Is that Ansh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ansh. I couldn't read your name. Okay, go ahead.
Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupadaputrena Tava Shashyena Dhimata.
Excellent. Well done. Does anyone else want to try? Anyone else want to try? You can put your hand up. You can also try together if you're with your sibling. Yeah, Kavita. Oh, what are your names?
And Aradhya.
Can you say that again?
Rahanika
Okay, Rahanika.
and Aradhya.
Aradhya. Okay. You both want to try?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Paschimna Panduputranam
Good.
Acharya Mahatim Chamun Vivudyam Drapaputrena Tava Shishedimata.
Excellent. Well done. Who wants to try now? Wow, everyone's doing really well. Thank you. Okay, does anyone else want to try before we go to the translation? I might not see your hand, so if you want to, you can also unmute and say that you want to. Okay, I don't see any other hands, so I'm going to move on, but if you want to, just let me know real quick. No? Okay. Let's go to the translation. Okay. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Okay, let's say that together now. Ready? Let's go. O my teacher, and you can unmute yourself. Yeah. Behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Excellent. All right, who wants to say this translation? Does anyone want to say the translation? You can raise your hand. Does anyone want to say it? Let me see. Oh, Nitya, yes, go ahead.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons Bandhu, so expertly arranged. Be your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Very good. Thank you, Nitya. Does anyone else want to say the translation? Atisha, did you raise your hand?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
my thing's not. Um,
Is everything okay?
I'm trying to get rid of something.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I see Krishnangi. Go ahead.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Bandhu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple of the son of Drupad.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, Atisha, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I have a few more hands up here. So let's go, Ansh.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the sons of Drupada.
Excellent. Thank you. And then I see Aradhya and what was your name again? Aradhya and could you tell me your name again, please?
Rahanika.
Rahanika, thank you. Go ahead.
O my teacher, behold your great army of sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you all for saying the shloka and the translation. We will, okay, before we go on to the story, really quickly, who remembers who the sons of Pandu are? Oh, let me see. Who remembers who the sons of Pandu are? Okay, Krishnangi. Do you remember who the sons of Pandu are?
Arjuna, Bhima,
Wait a minute.
Yudhishthira, Nakula, and Sahadeva.
Yeah, you gave all the names. There were 5 brothers, right? Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. And they were the sons of Pandu. They were called the Pandavas. We talked about them a few times before. Okay. And here in this verse, actually, Duryodhan is speaking this verse. Okay, who remembers who Duryodhan is? Does anyone remember who Duryodhan is? I see Nitya, yes. Nitya, did you stand up? Nitya, I think you're muted. Yes, there. Now you're not. Do you remember who Duryodhan was? Yeah, can you tell us? Here, maybe I'll come back to you, Nitya. How about that? Yeah? Okay. Let's see. Who else can tell me who was Duryodhan? You can raise your hand so I know. Who was Duryodhan?
You're fine.
we are fine. Yeah. Everything is fine. We are waiting for.
Let's see. Let me ask. Let's see. Ansh, would you like to tell us who is Duryodhan?
The eldest son of Dhritarashtra.
Okay, yeah, thank you. The eldest son of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra and Pandu, again, they were brothers, right? So Pandu had 5 sons, which were the Pandavas, and Dhritarashtra had 100 sons called the Kauravas. The Kauravas' eldest brother, so the first one out of all of them was Duryodhan, okay? And he is speaking this verse. And he is talking to his teacher. His teacher who taught him how to fight. Who remembers who taught the Pandavas and Kauravas how to fight? We talked about this a few times. Nitya, yes?
We have raised hands.
Nitya, you are muted.
He's um he was
Oh no, you're muted again.
Yeah. Give it to Chotu. Amka, raise hand.
Oh,
Don't know.
Nitya, I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you. I'll come back to you, okay? I see some other friends with their hands up. I don't see your name on here. Could you tell me your name? It says iPhone.
Samanya and yeah, that's we're
Okay.
using my mom's phone right now.
Okay.
Samanya and Samanya.
Okay, can you tell me who was a teacher of the Pandavas and Kauravas?
Dronacharya was the teacher of the Pandus, Pandavas and the Kauravas.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, he was the one who taught them how to fight. Okay, so we are going to hear a story about Dronacharya and how he had a friend when he was young called Drupada. Okay, and we see this name right here, the son of Drupada. Okay, so this is who we're going to be talking about in the story today. He was a friend of Dronacharya, which was, as we just talked about, the teacher of the Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay, so let's go to the story. So again, this is Dronacharya, right? This is him teaching Arjuna how to fight, how to shoot his bow and arrow. This is Drupada, okay? He was a king. And Dronacharya, like we know, he was a teacher, okay? He was not a king, okay? So when they were young, both went to the same school. They had the same teacher who taught them how to fight, okay? And Drupada came from a king family, a very wealthy family, and Dronacharya came from a very simple family, okay? So they both went to the same school and they became friends while they were at school. And here they're a little older, but they're still in school, okay? And here, this is Drupada, actually. Drupada, he was the boy who was from the king family, and he was telling Drona later on, he was saying, whenever you need anything in life, you can come to me. Half of my kingdom will be yours whenever I get my kingdom, okay? He was the son of a king, which means that later on, he would get the kingdom of his father. So he told his good friend Drona, he said, you can come to me whenever you need anything and you can have half of my kingdom. Okay, so Dronacharya, naturally, he said, oh, that's really, really kind of you. Thank you. And then, time passed. They finished school. They became great warriors and they parted ways. They graduated, right? Sometimes when we graduate school, we go to different places and we don't always see all our old friends from school, right? So that same thing happened to them. They moved, they were in different, they had different lives, right? They weren't always seeing each other anymore. And Drupad, he ended up getting his father's kingdom. He was very rich, very wealthy. And Drona, he settled down, he had a family, but he was a little poor, okay? He didn't always have everything he needed. So one day he thought, oh, I had a friend back in school who told me that whenever I needed anything, I can go back to him. That was Drupad. I'm going to go visit him and see what if we can talk about this. So he went and he met Drupad. Drupad, if you see right here, he's sitting in in a throne, right? He looks like he's really rich. He's a king. And this is Drona. He's coming here with his wife and his child. They don't have everything they need. They're on the poor side, right? And they come here, and Drona talks to Drupad, and he says, "Remember me, friend? We were in school together, and you told me that whenever I needed anything, I could come to you. And you also promised me half of your kingdom." Drupada, he started to make fun of Dronacharya, and he said, "I don't remember this. You can't be my friend. We're completely different. Look at me. I'm rich, you're poor. You should just go." So he didn't give him anything, and he told him to leave, okay? Drona naturally felt very hurt, and he got very upset. And he was also upset that Drupad didn't keep his promise, right? Because he had promised him in school that if he needed anything, he could come. And he also promised that he would give him half of his kingdom, or that half of his kingdom would belong to Drona. So anyhow, he Dronacharya, he thought very revengefully. He wanted to make up for this. He wanted to teach Drupad, the king, a lesson. So years passed, and as we know, Dronacharya became the teacher of who? Who was he the teacher of? You can all unmute and say it.
The Pandavas
and the Kauravas.
Yeah, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Thank you. He became the teacher of the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and he taught many, many other warriors as well. He was a very, very skilled teacher for war. So as you know, years went by, the Pandavas, the Kauravas, they grew up, and they were finishing their training with Dronacharya. Okay, and at the end of their training, there's a custom where you actually give your teacher a gift. You ask them what can you do for them, and you give them something for everything that they've given you, for all of the knowledge that they've given you. So that's what the Pandavas and the Kauravas, when they were nearing the end of their education, when their training, they asked Dronacharya what they could give him, okay, as a gift. And so at that time, Dronacharya said, "I want you to go and capture Drupada." Now, who remembers who was Drupada? Yes, Ansh.
The friend of Dronacharya.
Yeah, he was the old friend of Dronacharya who said he was no longer his friend, right? He didn't remember anymore, but they were friends when they were little. So he said, "I want you to capture him, defeat him in fight," okay? So he first sent the Kauravas, which was Duryodhan and all of his 100 brothers. He sent them and he said, "Go capture him, bring him to me as a gift." So they went and they tried very hard to fight Drupada and his army, but they couldn't defeat him. So they came back to Dronacharya and they said, "I'm sorry, we couldn't bring him. We were defeated." Next, Dronacharya sent the Pandavas, okay? The 5 brothers, Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. He sent them and he said, "Now you go and you try to bring Drupada to me," okay? So the Pandavas went and they were successful. They were very skilled, right? They worked very hard in school to learn very well how to fight, and they were able to defeat Drupada and his army. And they actually brought him to Dronacharya. If you see here, he's all tied up. Okay, that was the king we were talking about earlier, Drupad. He was all tied up. And the Pandavas behind, they brought him to Dronacharya. Okay, now Dronacharya, he tells Drupad, he said, "You know, we were friends. You promised me that you would help me. You would give me half of your kingdom. You didn't keep your promise, you know? But now I've conquered you. My students have captured you. So technically, everything you own now belongs to me. But I'll be nice. You can take half of your kingdom, and I'll take half of it." So he finally released Drupad, okay? And that way he was able to get his revenge. And he also got the wealth that he wanted, that he was promised from Drupad. But now, Drupada, he was very insulted by this, the fact that he was captured by the students of Dronacharya. And he decided that now he wanted to get revenge for this. So he asked different sages and different people who could potentially help him get revenge, okay? Do something bad to Dronacharya because Drupad felt very disrespected. But no one wanted to help him. Finally, there was one sage who decided that he would help him. And then what they did was they had a fire sacrifice. Okay, has anyone been to a fire sacrifice before? Yagya? Okay, I see Ansh, Nitya, Krishnangi, Nimai. Okay, some of you have been. Okay, so they used to do these at that time as well. And this Brahmana, this sage, he said, okay, we'll do a fire sacrifice. Okay, and as they did the fire sacrifice, two really powerful people came out of that fire sacrifice. The first one was a boy. He was a very powerful, very, very strong boy. Okay. And the second that came out was a very beautiful girl. Okay. This boy's name was Drishtadyumna. This girl's name was Draupadi. Okay. They became very, very important people in the Mahabharata story later on. But for now, once these two personalities came out of the fire, Drupada took them as his children. Okay, so he raised them up in his home. And this boy, Drishtadyumna, was actually born to kill Dronacharya. Drupada specifically wanted someone to come from the fire who could kill Dronacharya as revenge. Okay, so that was really, really mean of him, actually, right? But anyhow, when Drishtadyumna was ready to learn how to fight, he actually went to school with Dronacharya. Okay, he was supposed to kill him later on, but still he was sent to learn how to fight from him. And Dronacharya actually knew. He knew that he was born to kill him. But still, because he was a teacher and because it was his duty to teach, he allowed Drupada's son, Drishtadyumna, to come and learn how to fight from him. And he taught him very well, okay? So this is the background story of that verse that we talked about, of that we just recited. And we can see from this story how revenge is a very, it can be very destructive, right? Because of the revenge that Drona felt, or that Dronacharya felt earlier, and then because of the revenge that Drupada felt later, you know, they caused a lot of pain to each other, right? So that's how we can see how revenge is not always the best thing to do when we're not feeling, when we're feeling that someone didn't treat us well. Okay, and we'll talk about another story really quickly, which is a similar kind of story. This story is about Krishna and Sudama, okay? These are two boys, Krishna and Sudama. They were in school together when they were younger, okay? Krishna was he was from a king's family also, very wealthy family, and Sudama was from a Brahmana family and he was poor, okay? Both in school together, and they became very good friends. And many years passed, they were in school together, you know, they really, really liked each other, and they did a lot of things together. And finally, when it was time to graduate, they also were going to part ways, right? Krishna was going to go back to his family. Sudama went back to his family, and they had their own lives. Now, Krishna, when he went back to his family, he became king. He became very, you know, he had he had a huge palace, right? And Sudama, when he went back to his family, as he grew up, you know, he also had his own family, but they were poor. They didn't have much to eat. They didn't have a very, you know, nice place to stay. And so one time, Sudama, he remembered Krishna. He thought, oh, I had a really nice friend back in school. But he didn't think about, oh, I want to go there and see if he can give me something. You know, he just thought, oh, he was a really nice friend. I really want to go see him again. So he thought, let me go visit him. Okay. So when he went to visit Krishna, he made a very, very long trip. And back in the day, they didn't have cars or airplanes. He had to walk. Okay, you could either go by chariot with a horse, or if you didn't have that, you'd have to walk. So he walked and walked for so many days. Finally, he reached Dwarka, the place where Krishna was, with his huge palace. He reached there. And you see here, he was a poor, poor person, and Krishna was rich and wealthy there in Dwarka. But Krishna treated him so nicely. He remembered him immediately. He remembered that he was his old friend from school, and he didn't try and say, "Oh, I don't remember you. You're not a king. You're not. I can't relate to you." He immediately realized that, "Oh, we were such good friends. I remember you." And he brought him into his house. He gave him such nice food. You can see here he's washing his feet. That's a really nice way to welcome someone into your home. He really gave Sudama so much respect. And Sudama felt so loved and so cared for by Krishna. So this is one example of how Krishna treated his friend Sudama in such a beautiful way, even though they were not both kings. They were different families. They were living different lives. They were far away from each other. But Krishna remembered his friendship and he treated him so nicely. And Sudama, in the same way, he also, when he came to see Krishna, he wasn't thinking, "Oh, maybe I can get something from him. Maybe maybe he'll give me some of his kingdom or anything like that." He just wanted to go and see him as a friend. And in the other story that we heard, Drona, when he came to see Drona, when he came to see Drupad, he had some kind of an expectation in his mind. He was hoping that Drupad would give him something from his kingdom. So we can see how the differences are here of the two friendships and what resulted in those, okay? In the previous friendship, right, with Drona and Drupad, they ended up causing each other a lot of pain just because they had revenge, because they didn't want to respect, each other and remember each other. And in this story here with Krishna and Sudama, they really treated each other so nicely and so with so much respect, and so this is why it's important to be, to remember to not think of how you can cause someone pain, if even if they caused you pain, not harbor revengeful feelings to them. Okay. All right, so this was our story, and this was the background story of Drupada. Okay, this was the king who Drona was once friends with, but they turned into enemies. And that resulted in a lot of other stories happening in the Mahabharata. And we'll go through more of those in the future. Okay? Now, before the closing prayers, we have a Kahoot of all the different stories that we went through so far. Okay? And so it's a lot to remember, but let's go through a few of the questions and just, get a little bit of some ideas of the answers. Let's help each other out before we start. So does anyone remember, again, we said this in the beginning, but does anyone remember who are the Pandavas again? Who are the Pandavas? And if you know, you can just unmute and tell me. Let me actually exit my screen share right here. Hold on 1 second. Let me... Hold on 1 second. Let me stop my screen share. Okay, there we go. All right. I see Nitya.
Pandu's sons.
Yeah. Who are the sons of Pandu? Okay, let's go for Krishnangi. I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Do I see the sons of Pandu?
Yeah.
Bhima, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Nakula, and Sahadev.
Excellent. This is just a little quick review before we do our Kahoot, okay? What about let's see. Where was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? Does anyone remember that? Where was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? We talked about this a long time ago. So. Atisha, do you have your hand up? Nitya, yes.
On the battlefield.
Yeah, good. On the battlefield. Very nice. And which of the Pandavas is very strong? Does anyone remember that?
Arjuna.
I hear Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Arjuna. Okay. He is strong. The strongest one of all of them was Bhima. Okay. Let's see. What are some other things we can review? How about let's see. What who speaks the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita? Who remembers that? Okay, Nitya? Yes, Nitya? Nitya, we can hear you now.
Sanjana.
Sanjay? Okay. Sanjay speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, that's right, but Dhritarashtra actually speaks the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. He's asking what is happening on the battlefield, right? Remember, he's asking his minister Sanjay, he's asking him, can you tell me what's going on there? What's happening with my sons and the sons of Pandu? His sons were the Kauravas again, right? Dhritarashtra's sons were the Kauravas, Pandu's sons were the Pandavas. Okay, so like that, we have several questions on the Kahoot. Let's see if there's anything else that I can review with you.
You need another device to play.
Oh, that's right. You will need another device to play this Kahoot. Unless if you're on a computer, a laptop or a computer, then you can just make another tab and then you can play. But if you're on a phone, you will need another device. Does everyone have another device?
I don't need another device.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you all just a minute to set up. If you need another device, you can get one. And if you already have a computer or a laptop, you can go to another tab. And then in the chat, I'll put the link that you need to go to, okay? And yes, Anshu, you can share your screen now.
Mom?
Okay. Who is ready? You can raise your hand, keep your hand raised if you're ready. If you have another device or if you're on the tab. And I've in the chat, I've given a link. If you copy and paste that into your second tab, then you should be able to join. And this is the game pin right up here.
Or you can scan the QR code.
And QR code, yeah. Okay, we have 3 of you on here. If you are joining the video call together, you can also join the Kahoot together. You can put both of your names as a nickname. That's totally fine. Like Nandika and Nandini, if you want to put your name together and play together, that's completely fine. Same with Rahanika and Aradhya. Whoever else is joining with your sibling, you can join the Kahoot together as well. That's fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We don't know how scan करेंगे. Scan करो.
Need another person to join.
We need one more.
Yeah, to be on Team Wolf. Should we start?
I'm just making sure everyone's on there. Okay, I see 8 people on here, 8 students on here. Is there anyone else who we're missing? Are we missing anybody? I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, Nandini, Nandika. Is everyone on here? Okay, Ansh, I think we're ready.
Okay, I'm starting.
Okay, good luck, everyone. Think of all the stories you've heard so far.
IMC. Oh, yeah, IMC. Yeah.
Not too bad. I'm on 62. We couldn't hide in childcare, so
Oh,
my son is
hi. Hey, boss. How are you?
there. He's just busy doing a podcast.
Yep.
No fighting, please.
That's not the only round.
Both have to do
Okay,
it.
looks like there's some other
There's another
rounds.
round.
Okay.
Team Wolf starts with 2 tiles.
Nandika? हाँ, but she won't. Okay?
Team Skeleton won again.
Wow.
Team Wolf wins the first. Okay, Team Skeleton wins the whole thing.
Wow, look at that. Everyone did so well. Both teams won. At least once, right? All right, give yourselves a hand of applause. Congratulations. That was really good. Was that all the questions, Ansh? Did all the questions go through?
I don't know. I couldn't see.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
But there should have been 20.
There should have been,
Should
okay.
have gotten 20.
Did all of you get through about 20 questions? No? Maybe? Okay. Okay, well we'll end here with the end of that game. And well done, everyone. I saw that both teams won at least once. That means both teams were getting the answers. Okay, that was so good. Well done. And we will see you all very soon, okay? Have a great rest of your Sunday and see you all soon. Thank you for participating in the Kahoot. Thank you, Ansh, for hosting the Kahoot. And thank you all for saying the shlokas. Oh, right before we finish, I think someone's left, but let's say the ending prayers really quickly, okay? The closing prayers. Let's say that together. Can you all see my screen? Yes? Okay. If you know these, you can say them along with me. You can mute. And even if you don't know them, you can unmute and read what's on the screen, okay? Here we go. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. All right. Thank you everyone again for joining. And thank you for playing the Kahoot. Thank you for being here and see you all soon. Okay, great job everyone on the Kahoot.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.